Hi guys and welcome to this video. Today I'm looking at a gorgeous little watch that I built this week for a buddy of mine here in Dubai. He reached out to me because he had the SNK623, I believe it is. I'll drop a picture of it here on the left. And he wanted to change the case because it's a nice dial and it's a really interesting dial because of that unique day wheel, which I'll talk about in a minute. But the case is just terrible by Seiko, and because it's got that Explorer-esque vibe with the numerals at 12, 6 and 9, the 3 is actually the date as well. We wanted to play on that. Now I've done this once before in a similar mod, and you'll also find that video on my channel. However, last time I did this, I did not change the case. And as soon as I dropped this dial into this case, I thought, wow, this actually does scream Explorer to me. Now, my client here didn't want to option the bracelet, but you can actually get a really nice oyster bracelet for this as well from Namoki mods. So let's go over this watch briefly. Now, the dial I've already mentioned, it's got this really unusual day display at the bottom, and I'll just share with you the operation of that. Some eagle-eyed watchers might have noticed that the original watch is actually a 4 o'clock crown, and we've been able to move the crown position to 3 o'clock as well. Now, fortunately, Seiko does kind of allow you to do this because of the design of the day wheel. Now, I'll show you how that works. So first of all, you pop open the screw down crown. This one doesn't have a movement upgrade either. We've stuck with the 7S movement just to keep things simple, but you could put an NH36 movement in here as well. So when we pull the crown and we start going past midnight, you'll see what happens with the day and the date. So firstly, the date will change here. We've also optioned a black date wheel to sort of help balance the dial a little bit. And soon after, the day starts changing. Now at this point, it's in the middle. And because Seiko often do watches at both 4 and 3 o'clock crown positions, you can actually rotate the movement and it would still line up. So the clever thing that they've done is created one part that actually works for both. Now on your typical Seiko 5, this midpoint is actually a different language. So here you only get one language, but you can actually change the case from 3 or 4 o'clock, depending on your preference. And past 3 a.m., that's when the new day will appear. Now we can also check that out with the quick set function. If you pull it to the first position, then clockwise is the date change, and anti-clockwise, and you see we get that midpoint, is the day. And you can see you've got all the obviously English days of the week. Saturday is in blue and Sunday's in red. Now, unfortunately, the only way you can do this mod is to buy the original SNK watch, because you really need the dial and the day wheel. I've not seen that day wheel for sale outside of that combination. It's just a real shame that the case they originally made this dial for is just, it's okay, but it's not very masculine. It's a little bit feminine. It's very curvy. The bracelet's integrated, which is another reason why I've converted some of these before. Most people would prefer a leather strap, like this nice quality one I've got on here, or a better bracelet, because most Seiko's bracelets aren't that great. So let's talk about what else I've done here. So aside from obviously taking that dial and movement, changing to the black date wheel and the crown at 3, we've also added some Mercedes hands, of course, in keeping with that Rolex Explorer style. The case comes actually as a set from Namoki mods. So I'll link the product link in the description, and I'll even include my code for Namoki in case you want to save a bit of money there. But this is a fantastic case. I really like this case because firstly, it's a really wearable size for most people. I always recommend this to my clients. I've got too big a wrist to wear this case, unfortunately, but it is 38mm across. The lug length is fairly long comparatively for a Seiko style watch, but it definitely doesn't wear that big. You've got all the specs on Namoki's website as well for this case, including the thickness, which is also relatively slender, and they've cleverly hidden the movement here, the height of the movement with the sculpting of the case. Nice sides, everything's quite simple, and it really reminds me of the Explorer style with the smooth conical bezel, and of course flat sapphire crystal, which you can get in clear and blue AR. This is the clear one. A screw down crown as mentioned before. Just a really nice, comfortable, wearable case, and it just feels so much nicer quality than similar types of cases I've tried from various other suppliers. Namoki is a great place to go case shopping because they've just got so many styles. The strap, by the way, you can find on my website, SVK Watches, where you'll also find my watch collection that's for sale. I generally build watches just for fun and end up selling them there. I also take client orders such as this one. So if you're in Dubai or the UAE and you want to stop by and see me and talk about making a mod, then do let me know. All my details are there. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Seiko Mods Dubai, because that's where you'll find all my latest and greatest builds. The movement in this, right, just zoom in again, we've decided to actually keep the original Seiko exhibition case back from that SNK model I mentioned, and the movement is the 7S26 or it could be the 36, I can't remember, but anyway, it's the simpler iteration where you don't get the hand winding or the stop seconds, but the accuracy, power reserve, everything else is the same. So I've got quite a few of these movements now from various watch builds, and I don't hesitate to use them still, just because you know, this is a Seiko stamped movement as well, you can see on there, so it came from an original Seiko watch. We've also got the leather strap, which you'll find on my store. This is the dark grey kind of leather, the brown grey. This is the handmade strap, nice quality. You'll see, of course, a few other colours as well, and there's a video on straps specifically, but I just love this strap on this type of field watch, and this is even the case is called a field watch case. I tend to call this style the Explorer, but same idea. So overall, really happy with how this came out. I thought I'd best do a video as well, just because I did this before, but not as, maybe not, I'm not going to say as well, because it was a different style. It was more a Seiko style. Now this is more of a modern style with a newer case, sapphire crystal, and so on, a few other upgrades. You can go for the ultimate version, which I would say would probably be on the matching bracelet, the Oyster bracelet, and it'll have the NH36 movement inside. Not a super expensive watch to mod or to have a go at doing yourself as well, and keep an eye on my channel for tutorial videos coming very soon for more Namoki cases. Now on the left you will have seen some videos already from the build, and you can see those day wheels that I'm referring to. So of course we changed the date to black and the days got converted. Lovely dial. Always go for an original Seiko dial. If you're going to make one of these yourself, don't be tempted to buy the cheap dials on AliExpress, eBay, etc., because 9 times out of 10 they might be fake if they say the word Seiko on them. Just, you know, the way I started was just find actual nice dials in cheaper Seiko watches and upgrade everything else. So that's what I've done, and it's been really successful. So guys, thanks you for watching. This ended up being an average length video. I didn't mean that, but I just love this mod and I wanted to share it with you all. Please follow me, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.